Yet again, I'm going to show people of the world why relationships are nothing but a remnant of a dysfunctional society. You see, what you've got to realize is man can't live on sex alone. So you women that think that showing your breasts and having your ass as an asset is the be-all and end-all of your existence, well, I'm here to tell you, you need to get a life and you need to be real. It's the same thing. Women can't live on sex alone. But the difference between a man and woman is that women are highly irrational. They're so irrational that if they wanted to be logical about their rationality, they'll say it's because of their mood swings or their period. Or they say it's because they are more in tune with emotions and feelings. That's why men can't understand them. This is nothing more than a justification of their bad behavior. Justification of a bad behavior has gotten us to where we've got to in this place. Justifying your bad behavior, your unwillingness to understand, your unwillingness to learn, and your unwillingness to be more than you were yesterday. And most women are not intellectually gifted. No, they're not. Men are more intellectually gifted than women. The only intellectually gifted woman I've ever heard of is a woman called Iran. And she was not born in the 1980s nor the 1990s. Man can't live on sex alone. You see, what women fail to realize is that when a man gets to a certain age, wasted his time on the woman looking beautiful, wearing makeup, everything is fake, everything is based upon materialism, he starts to say to himself, wait a minute, I want more in my life. I want a woman that's going to be able to teach me new things. I'm going to want to be with a woman that I'm able to learn with. I'm going to want a woman that I'm able to develop with. The man goes out there and he's faced with the fake Beyoncés. He's faced with a woman that is so sexually perverse that she'll hide it under the guise of, oh, do you know what, men used to do it to women, so I'm going to do it to men. You're going to be faced with a woman that no matter her intellectual accolades in her life, it still goes back to one thing. She wants to look beautiful. And on top of that, if she's got children, she wants to know how you are going to be man enough to look after her. But yet, none of these women have ever done any sort of internal work on themselves. Because they're able to put on some leggings and some lingerie, some lipstick and some war paint on their face and look presentable, mutton lamb dressed up as caviar, they think that's all they need to get themselves a guy. So they put the bait out there to get the guy. But more and more men are starting to realize this is not enough. You might be able to cook. If you can't cook, you need to sort yourself out. You might be able to have sex. You might be able to have friends. You might be able to talk about, EastEnders or Sex in the City or Desperate Housewives. But what about making an empire with your husband? What about you going above and beyond and trying to set something new for you and him to do? And what about him doing the same for you and you not seeing it as him trying to control you in some weird way? Because what you women don't realize is you can have a great ass. After you hit a certain age, no one's interested anymore. No one's interested. If you think that men are abusing you, then become a lesbian. If you don't want to become a lesbian, invest in a sexual toy, a vibrator. I had a conversation with one of my close friends today. She said, men are just men. There's nothing special about them. And I said to her, yeah, you're getting it. Women are just women themselves. Because there is no man that I know that ever purposely goes out, gets involved with a woman, and then after a couple of weeks wanting to ditch her. We've all been subjected to the same movies like you women. The Hollywood blockbusters, The King and I, Beauty and the Beast. Why has it always got to be a man that's a beast? Most of these women, have you ever seen them without any makeup? Lord, we've been subjected to the same fairy tales as you. There's so much pressure to do this, to do that, to do this, to do that. But what you women don't realize is because of your laziness, men are cheating on you. Men are sleeping with other women. and men are sleeping with other men because of you women fell terribly at telling the truth and being open into discovering new things and making yourself better. Because of this, you are losing. And no amount of government subsidies, no amount of how many children you want to have, no matter how much handouts you'll be getting from governments, this, that, blah, 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 you're a loser. Because if you are intellectual, you will know that for you to subjugate or swap the government for a man is something that is going to be very dangerous and very detrimental to your relationship. You should know this. But because you women are not people based upon principle, because you're irrational and because you're just based on emotions, blame it on my period mentality, and you're all victims, you are going to send that man out the house and he's going to be into porn, he's going to be into prostitutes, he's going to be into drinking, any little vice just to get away from the headache that it is a woman. And all these silly ass men, they're in relationships, married with their wives, and they go around to parties and they ask people, when are you going to get married? Why aren't you married? Why haven't you got a husband? These people are lies themselves, because that relationship is nothing more than a cover story. Because every night they dream of having sex with someone else. Every night they wish they did not have the responsibility they had. But yet again, they'll parade themselves around in all of these social events and pretend that they're happy. Shame on you. You are a criminal. You're nothing more than wolf in sheep's clothing. Because I know when you're talking to these women, or some women talking to men, you're trying to gauge what's going on. You're trying to see if the grass is greener on the other side. And I'm telling you what, the grass can never be greener on the other side until we all start to change our ways. Until we all start to realize that, listen, your breasts and arse is not all you have. You've got to have a brain. Use your bloody brain. Let's find solutions to what's going on here. Man cannot live on sex alone. That vagina of yours ain't that special, love. And you can say the same to men. The penis of most men might not be that special. The way it works, it might not be that special. If this is the case, let's agree that there is a problem and let's come together to sort it out. If not, we're going to do the exact same thing as Japan. And I am happy at that. In Japan, they do not have sex, from the documentaries I've seen. More and more people under the age of 40, they just haven't got the patience. In a world where before the new iPhone comes out, you want to throw away the old version. In a world where people are not taught to stay together. In a world of want. In a world where economics is just nothing more than rhetoric. People are deciding not to bother with each other. And they shouldn't. Because when you're with each other, you can't agree on nothing. Most of you are intellectually backwards. You can't think your way out of a wet paper bag. All you do is just Chinese whispers it all the way. If you know better, you do better. If you can't grasp that, then that is proof that you, my dear, are exactly what I'm talking about. You are irrelevant. You are irrelevant. And you continue to fail. Why? Because you have no critical thinking and you do not try to be better. You're not open-minded and you think that your vagina is the answer to everything. Good luck to you.